Hello there, it is Tim from Navori Labs and welcome to InfoComm 2026. Today I'm going to be showing you through a brief overview of what we've got demonstrating here at the booth. We're going to be talking about digital signage as an operational platform and infrastructure to be able to build the ideal digital signage platform for your future. So let's take you through the booth tour. Our major focus is about being the platform, the infrastructure for digital signage, and we use these to build out that entire experience. So first we start with the Orchestrator, that kind of lowest level of the capabilities, being able to deliver everything the digital signage required. That Orchestrator controls the rest of it to be able to deliver exactly the experience that you're looking for. The other piece we're talking about is Studio, so more of the CMS portion that you'll be familiar with, that no-code ability to create content, deploy it in the way that you want across thousands or hundreds of thousands of players and devices across the world. So with that Studio functionality, you've got all the benefits of being able to quickly deliver and build out the content experience that you want and publish and distribute it across your entire digital signage network. We also have Edge. We're talking about location, everything that's happening on site, near that device, near that screen, whether it be the device player, so whether that's a Stix 3800 or the device that you're utilizing, the screen, we're talking about real-time events and triggering content, being able to make things happen on the screen locally, automatically. So whether that be by a lift and learn technology, whether it be a sensor, whether it be understanding the information that's being pulled from camera analytics, and being able to have the player make that decision on the edge without having to go cloud-based and be immediate, and then being able to report that back into the infrastructure afterwards. So we've got Link, the ability to be able to deliver data in any way that you need. So whether that be from your teams, whether it be from Power BI, whatever tools that you're utilizing, you can take that data, deliver it into your digital signage. Then we have Build, so the ability to utilize the Navori APIs to build exactly the digital signage experience that you want. So it could be that you want to utilize some of the modules that are within here, unify them, make exactly the experience you want using those Build APIs that Navori have accessible to you. Then we have automation, being able to automatically make decisions on how content can be delivered based on the knowledge and the understanding of the device's local situation. What's the weather, what's the traffic, what's the audience like in front of that stream? Be able to automate decisions and deliver that decision making without human interference. On top of that, when we're talking about automation, we're talking about the next generation with artificial intelligence. And when we're talking about AI, what we're talking about specifically is AI connectors, or MCP, Modern Context Protocol. Being able to deliver all that is under that Navori infrastructure and being able to have it easily digestible by AI, so whether it be your chat client like ChatGPT or Claude, and have that ingest all of the information that Navori has to allow you to make automated decisions or to interrogate your digital signage platform in natural language, asking it how things are working, how things are behaving, what improvements can be made without having to go into the data itself and simply making that decision. We also have Monetize with a brand new ad monetization platform. Obviously, if you're utilizing tools like Hivestack or Vistar Media, you can utilize those within the Navori infrastructure. If you're looking for a whole ad monetization platform built in, Navori have that entire solution, which we'll be able to demonstrate with you very shortly for the first time. And finally, you have Measure, the ability to be able to measure and understand what activities will be going on around the screen, and then compiling that information and understanding exactly where the benefits lie. We're talking about closed loop attribution, being able to have a look at the data and the information around that player. So whether it be the weather, the traffic, information that you want to garner around the player itself, or whether it be about the audience using the vision analytics and that piece of it, being able to understand who's been in front of that screen and how that may then change the deployment of the content that you want. And that closed loop attribution is about starting with that deployment, moving on to understanding and pulling that data into a tangible report that you can look at, and then analyzing that based on potentially other data sources via APIs such as POS data. And then having that end solution being that you're understanding what is going on around the screen, what influence it's had on your buyer process or the workforce or whoever's in front of that screen at the time, and your entire infrastructure layer, and then making decisions automatically using the automate function to distribute the content based on that information intelligently. And these are just the beginning pieces. So let's talk about some of the other things that we're showing off today. So if we're talking about that build experience, when we're looking at Adobe were one of the only partners able to work with Adobe AEM, or the digital asset management platform from Adobe, being able to take all the content which is in your Adobe DAM or your AEM, your Adobe Experience Manager, have that content be auto-distributed into the Navori platform and then distributed out to your players. So if you're using Adobe AEM, you're probably already familiar with its functionalities. What we can do, because Navori is 100% focused on that digital signage experience, we can take what we do and what Adobe do and combine it, being able to take the Adobe content, deliver it automatically to your screens, and it's all built into the platform automatically. So there's no building, there's no coding, you're simply using the tools that you're familiar with in your existence with Adobe Asset Manager, and then being able to deliver that out to your screens automatically. You may have your on-store experience, you may have your on-screen experience, your mobile experience, your web experience, all being managed by that DAM. Now you can tack on digital signage to that experience in a unified way. So no additional resource management, no additional infrastructure building. It's just about taking what you have already and expanding that into that digital signage world. Another partner here that we're demonstrating is Agile with e-ink, the ability to have your e-paper display, which is becoming growing and growing in popularity, mainly due to the fact that it requires no additional power source. These are all just mounted. So for example, I can lift this off the screen. We can still deliver and change content to this. So the Agile solution also comes with this photovoltaic sensor up here, which is an incredible piece of technology, allowing it to pull power from any light source. We're not talking about solar. These are lights. The LEDs that are running this showroom floor automatically are actually powering up that screen that we have in front of us. When Navori comes in, and we're talking about the content distribution piece. So on top of that, there's a piece of middleware called ACE, which allows all the e-display or e-paper displays, allows it to unify with a digital signage solution and deliver the content to those e-paper displays, turning those e-paper displays into the exact same experience as you would do with your typical traditional LCD, LED screens, but with the benefit of the e-paper technology, which is obviously low power usage, low voltage consumption, being able to have that content change at scale, whilst being more of a traditional poster experience and saving a huge amount on rolling out new vehicles, rolling out new rolls of paper from that more traditional digital media. Another piece that we're demonstrating here is the Microsoft Device Ecosystem Platform, being able to utilize tools like Intune to manage your digital signage as you would do with computers, personal PCs, Teams rooms, whatever it is already in your Intune infrastructure. With the MDEP standardization, you can then unify that experience with your digital signage using Navori and the IDEA hardware to be able to have exactly the same experience. Now, from an IT and infrastructure positioning, being able to get sign-off and compliance across all your devices, this makes that really, really easy. Without having to onboard an entire new platform, go through an accreditation process, a security process, knowing that it's got that MDEP standard allows for a much faster deployment. You can focus on the digital signage piece whilst knowing that your IT teams are managing the experience in the exact same way with the exact same security levels and protocols that they're familiar and comfortable with. Another part that we're demonstrating here is Robin. So Robin has the ability to be able to deliver and understand your room availability, what workspaces are available, being able to send out messages out to the teams in a corporate workspace environment to make sure that everybody's on the same page, understands the environment around them, is able to book and arrange meetings seamlessly. And obviously when we're talking about Navori, we're simply taking that technology and the work that Robin has done and building out a way to deploy that easily across the digital signage. So there's no reutilization or rebuilding of content. We're simply utilizing what Robin has done and then delivering that onto your digital signage in a unified way that creates no more additional resource management. There's no more tasks to be done. It simply just pulls what's already there and builds that into the digital signage space. And finally, as we come to the end of our booth tour here, we're at the back of the wall. We're talking about smarter workplace experiences. With Navori, rather than having to use our platform to the ability that works for you, we're interested in building out tool sets that work with your existing data sources. So whether that's Power BI, Tableau, Microsoft Excel, whatever it might be, being able to pull all of the work that you've built out to the way that you want to distribute your communication and just reutilizing that for your digital signage experience. So rather than force you down one route, we want to be able to work with you in a way that makes things seamless and easy for you to manage and track going forward. So what we have demonstrating here are some of the things we've already talked about with Robin and other pieces as well. But it's just about being able to create a unified communication way across your team, across your corporate environment, without having to build out additional workload for your staff and being able to make sure that your staff are fully updated with all the information to allow them to make faster decisions quicker and be able to be more informed on the go without having to stop and ingest that. So that gives you an overview of the Navori booth tour. Thank you very much for staying by. We have so much to talk to you about, but the key takeaways are about this foundation digital signage infrastructure, being able to deliver exactly the digital signage experience that you're looking for, this composability to deliver exactly the experience that you need without having to be tailored or curtailed into the experience that maybe we want to deliver to you. It's about being operationally available for all of your needs. Now, if you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at Navori.com. We look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.